Recently, I've had suggestions flying in for my Minecraft city, and I've been trying to get through as many as possible. I'm really happy with how it's turning out, and I couldn't have even thought of half of these without my comment section. Here's the progress I've made. Okay, well, I don't think I could have made any more progress even if I tried. This is what the map looks like now. Look at all this down the side and this here. We'll go to my favorite build first. This grand old building over here. This is my attempt at a museum. You can tell I'm not very used to circular building. If I just go up here, if you look very closely, you can tell it is definitely not symmetrical. But I tried my hardest. It's the first time I've ever done it. So I tried to get like a semicircle effect on the glass by doing like a pane and then a full block and then a pane. It kind of looks good. I'm not sure. I might change that. I'll put some benches out the front, then a grand entrance, and then a big circle in the middle. It's a bit like a cathedral, but it's a museum. I haven't filled it with anything at the moment. I need suggestions. I think it's going to be either a library or a museum, but I haven't decided which yet. I created these like semicircular cylindrical windows, like a little skylight at the top, and then what's this again? I forgot what it is. Deep slate tile slabs for anywhere that didn't have a window, so places like this. I could have pushed it back a bit further because there isn't a lot of walking space, but apart from that I think it's a good first attempt at a circular roof. The next thing I did was I thought this ceiling was a bit bland, so I have added a sky bar. I think it looks alright. I've added little dividers and tables and a little inside bit, brick walls instead of a full block. I think I could probably give this area a bit more attention, but I just need to think about what to add. I do like though that it's got a very good view of the rest of my city. I think this museum feels very out of place down there. Like it feels like it should be in a different district, but we'll keep it for now. Now another thing I did just past that building is I added a little strip of shops and little houses. Watch it as it loads in. This is the main thing I've been working on, this whole area here. So you've got the tiny little pub, which is like one of the oldest parts of the town, in between these newer buildings. For this building, I've gone sort of one block back every time, and then someone told me to mix in granite and unpolished granite and things in between. So I tried, and I think it actually makes it look a lot better. And then I've added another little mud one in between, which is absolutely tiny, just in between this one. So look how tiny it is. I've figured out a solution to make it not too tall, but to make the ceiling sort of sizable. Is that I've just added in trapdoors for the ceiling, because then it's only another block thick for the floor, and then I've done it again here. It's not meant to look particularly pleasant, but it's just something to go in between here that's different. Then I've added another one, which is like, it's kind of UK inspired, because I've added this little roof here. I found this on Google, using anvils as chimneys. You know, there's 6 chimneys and no fires, but still. And then this one at the end, which kind of looks like a spider. And I didn't really want to add a window on the side, so I added some graffiti made out of concrete powder. And then in between these, I did something very interesting. I added a little walkway that goes up, and then there's a little thing that goes in here. And I've started to do an interior and sort of gave up. And I've added the banners again, and I decided to go with some actually generated banners this time, just to mix it up a little bit. That was my own design. I think that looks alright. I tried to get like a sunflower and some patterns on the top and bottom. I just didn't want to use the same colours over and over again. I've done something really interesting. I made a little vending machine, which is my own design. I didn't want to make it stick out too much, so I just stuck the blocks into the walls of the houses. But that would be like the collection zone, and then everything else, just pretend there's a keypad that you press the buttons for. Then the walkway goes back here, down these stairs, and then there's the walkway. And then you've got the road here, and then it continues across over here as well, down the back, and then there's the walkway down there as well, and then the crosswalk over to the pub. And then there's the crosswalk over to this giant thing, which is my little shopping mall. I used my design of the walls again on the top of that building for here, just to make it a little bit thinner. So I've done like a darker bottom floor with multiple entrances. There's one at the back, one at the side, one at the front, and one at the other side. I've kept the walkway, and I've added just a massive car park just around the sides. And then I've gone for quite a thick middle floor. The top floor is just basically all glass, and then a really thick roof. And then I've added daylight sensors that are turned to the night one, and little bits of rails for the HVAC stuff, and a couple of shroom lights in between. There you go. Looks quite nice like that. And over here, I had some extra space, and I'm not sure what to put there. I've outlined 4 little gaps for buildings to go, and I'm thinking I'm going to make 4 tiny skyscrapers to go next to each other, to match with the one over there, because I wanted to go for a gradient, like, as the landscape continues, it goes lower and lower, a little bit higher, lower, and then really high. But I'm not sure what to build there, so I might need some suggestions. Here, I did very small I think I'm going to make this a drive-through restaurant, so I might get rid of this, because I've added a car park at the side, but I think it's too small to be an actual restaurant. Well, it's a kind of a smaller version of a restaurant that I made in my old world before my PC crashed and like deleted everything. So I think I might get rid of this and replace it with something else. But I quite like, this is my favourite part I think so far, the wide walkway and then the little one at the back. Now these two buildings, technically three, I'll start with this one. I was kind of sick of using the same brick design. Even if I was adding granite, it got very samey. So I've added this, which I think is, yeah, it's acacia. I've basically made the windows circular, put them one block in, and then made them circular. You can see on that side. I don't know. It's a very different build to the rest of the city, but I think this could be the start of a new district, I was thinking, where I'd make it like cyberpunk themed. And then these two buildings, basically I had a spare plot here, so I just halved it and then put two buildings of the same but with different colours. So you've got a little black and white tiles, one at the bottom with grey concrete, and then stairs going up, and I did the trapdoor thing again. Then the ceilings here are different trapdoors, I think they're cherry. I haven't actually filled in the walls here yet. So these would be different apartments. They'd be very small, but the staircase would go up and then up again and up again. And then the same on this side as well. But I think it's just terracotta. Yeah, the patterned floor at the bottom as well with the stripped logs. I did the same old little market in between with the vending machine. And I added in the same generated banners just to give it some character, because I didn't want to overuse all the colours. I think this feels more cyberpunky than any other section of the city. This is definitely a motif that I've used throughout most of the city. Then a couple of minor things I've been doing, just adding a few more trees down this little strip here, because this was empty before, and some patterned grass here with the terracotta. I built a little wheat field because there was a little gap still in between, so I built loads of trees and just a little wheat field with different patterns on either side. And then here I had another gap, so I built a little campsite. So it joins onto the little opening over here, which I've put little park benches, which I think looks actually quite good. And I've made it join on, and you walk through here, there's a campsite. So I've done sort of like a little fireside, loads of little seating, and then loads of tents around the outside. But yeah, so I have used this space very wisely, because now I don't have any open space in this area. I filled in the golf course, finally I finished it all. I think the only thing left I have to do is add a few more trees to this little area, because it is very plain at the moment. But apart from that, I'm very proud of the progress I'm making. Let's have a look at the updated map. That's looking a lot more detailed now. Wow, if you think about where we started a few months ago to what it is now. Oh, I finished off the road as well. I'm very proud of this area. This has been in the works for a while. Yeah, I really need ideas for this plot, because I think I do have kind of an idea, but it's very similar to the ones over there in the back. Somebody suggested that I build either like a little riverside, which I was thinking could probably go around the back of the golf course, because then I could make another walkway that joins onto this. Or a school, which in that case would go probably on that side, but further down. Like maybe near the airport where this road would go. Keep the suggestions coming. This series is doing really well at the moment. I'm kind of surprised. Thank you to everyone who has been giving me suggestions and everyone who's subscribed. And it does kind of encourage me to keep going, because I think without YouTube and without the success of the series, I probably wouldn't keep doing this in so much detail. I'm going to try and put this in World Painter or something and try and make a mountain. I kind of have a plan for the very, very distant future that I want to do a ring road on a mountain, but obviously with the super flat world, that's kind of impossible. So if I put this through World Painter, maybe edit a mountain in, or maybe I can use that for the riverside. But for now, I'm very proud of how this has turned out. We've covered a lot of area at the moment. I do have another plan that I want to do a sewer system, but obviously that's for the very distant future, because then I have to dig underground underneath all of these buildings and then connect them all, and that would take a long time. But anyway, yes, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later.